The Apple Watch Series 0 was Apple's first entry into the smartwatch market back in 2015. Its sleek UI and seamless integration with iPhone made it an instant success, and it was the beginning of a whole new lineup of great smartwatches as true rivals to the Android Wear series. In this video, we will be taking a look at the Apple Watch Series 0 and answering the question of whether it's still usable in 2020 and if it's worth your money. Firstly, don't forget to hit that like button as it helps me out a lot, and please consider subscribing if you like what you see. And now let's get to this video. The watch I'll be using for this video is a stainless steel 42mm Series 0, which I use very often. Firstly, let's discuss specifications. The Series 0 was announced on September 2014 and released in April of 2015. It was available in two sizes, being 38 and 42mm, as well as three case options, which were Sport, which was made of aluminum, the Apple Watch, which was stainless steel, and the Apple Watch Edition, which was built of 18-karat gold with a price tag to match, and finally the Apple Watch Hermes Edition with Hermes engraving in stainless steel. The variety of strap combos which were offered are just too vast to list here. Let's now have a quick go around of the watch itself. Up front, we have the OLED capacitive touchscreen. On the right, we have the digital crown which controls scrolling and zooming, as well as when pressed acts as a home button. Next, we have the multitasking button, which also dubs as a power on-off button. On the right, we have the microphone and speaker cutouts. And at the back, we have the ceramic housing for the various fitness tracking sensors. The Apple Watch Series 0 featured IPX7 water resistance up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. As for display, it featured an OLED capacitive touchscreen, 1.65 inches on the 42mm and 1.5 inches on the 38mm. They were 390 by 312 and 340 by 272 pixels per inch respectively. The glass on the sports version was standard ion-strengthened glass, and the other three higher-end watches had sapphire crystal glass. The displays also featured Force or 3D Touch. This display holds up well today and provides great colors and viewing angles, and is absolutely not lagging behind more modern smartwatches. However, it does lack the always-on feature which was recently introduced with the Apple Watch Series 5. The main processing core of the Apple Watch Series 0 was the Apple S1 chip, which was based on a 28nm process, clocked in at 520 MHz, and a PowerVR graphics processor was its graphics processing unit. It also featured 8 GB of internal storage and 512 MB of RAM. These specs held up well at their time and still do today. The watch was released with watchOS 1.0 and had a final update to watchOS 4.3.2. The watch runs just fine on 4.3.2, and I see why Apple stopped updates at there, as watchOS 5 and above would have been way too much for the Apple S1 chip to handle. The Series 1, however, which is almost exactly the same as the Series 0, was given the upgraded Apple SP1 chip, which had drastic performance increase over the S1, giving it the ability to be upgraded to watchOS 6. The 42mm Apple Watch featured a 250 mAh battery, and the 38mm featured a 205 mAh battery, which were both advertised as all-day batteries, which held to be true when tested in real life. As for sensors, the Series 0 had an accelerometer, a gyroscope, and a heart rate sensor, and these three combined are which tracked all the fitness parameters that these watches were able to record. Let us now discuss usage. The main reason anyone would want to purchase a Series 0 is for fitness tracking, or just to get a feel for what it's like using a smartwatch, or namely an Apple Watch, before putting in money for a new Apple Watch of the latest model. Or just as a secondary watch to keep your workouts going when your main Apple Watch has no battery left in it. I personally use both my Series 0s as weekend watches or as dinner or social gathering wear, as they are stainless steel and look really good even after 5 years. The Series 0 performs as anyone would expect from an 5-year-old Apple product. It is not unbearably slow, but it's not a speed demon either. The loading times for apps are towards the slower side and sometimes need reloading depending on how many of them are open in the background. watchOS 4.3.2, though being 2 generations out of date, however, does not feel that way. It still feels like a premium interface, just a bit slower at times of heavy use, and apart from that, is generally smooth in basic tasks and does not feel dated at all. Most apps on the Watch App Store still support watchOS 4.3.2 and run relatively smoothly. The fitness app, however, does lack certain workouts that watchOS 6 would offer, but most main day-to-day workouts such as running and basic cardio are still available. watchOS 4.3.2 features a great selection of watch faces, which includes custom pictures and slideshows as well. Fitness tracking accuracy is another key point that I would like to discuss. I tested my Series 0 against my Series 5 on the same hand during a 15-minute walk, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that the Series 0 did not show much of a difference between values when compared to the Series 5, being only off by a few steps and calories when compared to the Series 5. However, the Series 0 does fare worse in terms of battery performance during workouts, as its fitness tracking sensors are not as efficient as the more advanced Series 5s. A main issue to consider when purchasing older Apple Watches such as the Series 0 is their battery life. Older devices such as the Series 0 would have significantly degraded batteries due to age and not last as long as they used to when they were brand new. My first Series 0, seen here, had a battery life of only 5 hours, and I intend to replace its battery very soon. However, replacing a battery on an Apple Watch is not an easy task, as these watches are extremely hard to open and can be damaged in many ways while working on their internals. Professional replacement can be done, but this will be somewhat pricey. But if it's just a watch that you want as a cheap introduction into the Apple Watch ecosystem, a weak battery would not be an issue, as you will not be using it for too long. Personally, I would recommend the Series 1 over the Series 0, as it's basically the same watch, except that it can be upgraded to watchOS 6, and with it all the features it comes with. Series 1s are no different in price from Series 0s and are much better performers thanks to the upgraded SP1 chip. They are overall a better buy for around the same price. Series 1s and Series 0s aluminum case versions could be bought off eBay for around $50 to $100 depending on their condition. So as a final conclusion, I'd like to say that the Apple Watch Series 0 is still a perfectly usable watch in 2020 if one is not going to depend on it too much. It could act as a great introductory watch or a secondary watch at a very low price. So finally, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped you with your purchasing decision. Don't forget to like this video and check out my channel, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video.